all change is a kind of dying. All change is a kind of dying. Something is going away and disappearing, and something new is kind of out there, and we don't know that it's going to come yet. Now, Luke 24, the background of this passage is there's two men walking from Jerusalem to a place called Emmaus, and it's some distance away. And what has happened is, in Jerusalem recently, Jesus has been crucified. Their hope and their joy has been killed and has been buried. And it's been 3 days, and now there's some rumors going around that he actually rose from the dead. But these two guys are so overcome with their grief and their anxiety that they just can't handle it. So they want to leave Jerusalem behind, get out of there, and get to this other place. Now, Emmaus for us can be a symbol, because in the times when change is really hot and really painful, there are places we go to get away from that pain. The place where we go to drink it away, or to porn it away, or to shop it away. It's the place where we go to get away from the pain that's going on in our lives. And this is what it says. They were talking with each other about everything that had happened. As they talked and discussed these things with each other, Jesus himself came up and walked along with them, but they were kept from recognizing him. Get this picture in your head. These guys were people who hung out with Jesus. They were with him. It's not like they'd seen a picture of him somewhere. They had heard a rumor about him. They actually had spent time with Jesus. So they would have recognized him because they spent time with him. So they're just running away from this pain of change, and they're walking this road, and Jesus comes up beside him, and they cannot recognize him. Now the text says they were kept from recognizing him, and the word there means to be restrained. And some scholars believe that God actually kept them from recognizing him, but I don't believe that. I don't agree. Because when you're in the pain of change, it's very, very hard to see anything hopeful. When you're kept up at night by change that's not your fault, but it's now your responsibility, when you're dying to change, it's very hard to see anything bright and beautiful in that moment. And so the possibility that this could actually be true was so out of their brains, they couldn't actually believe it was Jesus walking with them. Even though he was like, guys, do I look like anybody you know? The beard maybe? What if I turn this way? Does that other profile? They couldn't tell. But the glorious part of this moment in the story, and for us who are going through this time of change, and I want you to know, this is coming from a very personal place for me. Because me personally, and we as a church, we're going through this season of change. We're adding another campus. When you add another campus, it's like adding another child to your family. You got to split everything up differently, and somebody else needs to share a bedroom, and there's all kinds of sibling rights. All that stuff happens, and so we're going through this season of change. I'm going through this season of change, watching some good friends move on. One of my best friends is directing the service right now, and this is one of the last times I get to work with him. So, brother, I love you, but it's a hard moment for us to watch these things change. So one thing that we can keep with us in that moment, and one thing we see of these men walking to Emmaus from Jerusalem, is that no matter what the death is that we're dying, we never do it alone. We always have a companion. Jesus always walks with those of us who are dying through change. Deuteronomy promises this in the Bible. It says, "The Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." These guys are running from the story, and Jesus is right alongside of them, sticking close with them. Even when you're deep in the blood and the muck and the dirt of dying to change, God is always there.